by the scientific community. To this end, in this book, I have told something of my own story through select reports on scientific episodes in my scientific life. I begin with my research into the flight of starlings, those remarkably beautiful murmurations, their flocking behavior, that the physics of this century is only now in a position to explain. I wanted to start there, to emphasize how difficult it is to understand the many phenomena that we observe almost daily, and to convey that complexity is not about what happens in laboratories. It is about what happens all around us. Our job as scientists is to illuminate for everyone the truths that we discover. 1. In a Flight of Starlings. The question of interaction is a crucial one in many areas, including for the purposes of understanding certain psychological, social, and economic phenomena. The work described in this essay focuses on how each member of a flock of birds is able to communicate in order to move in a coherent way, producing a single entity that is at once collective and multiform. It is fascinating to observe the collective behavior of animals, be it that of flocks of birds, shoals of fish, or herds of mammals. At sunset, we can see starlings forming fantastic patterns, thousands of milling black specks against the changing colors of the sky. We witness them all moving in unison, without touching or dispersing, avoiding obstacles, moving apart and coming together again, continuously reconfiguring their spatial arrangement, almost as if an orchestra conductor were giving order to everything that is happening. We could watch these birds endlessly, because the show they put on is perpetually altered and renewed, taking different and unexpected forms. When confronted with all this beauty, the professional curiosity of a scientist cannot be piqued. Wheels begin to turn and questions form. Is there really something like a conductor at work behind this collective behavior, or is it self-organized? How can information be transmitted so rapidly throughout the flock? How is it possible that the shapes made by the collective can change so quickly? How are the different speeds and acceleration rates of the birds distributed within the murmuration? How can they maneuver together without bumping into each other? Might there be simple rules of interaction between starlings that account for such complex and variable collective movements as the ones we see in the skies? When we are curious and want to know the answers to certain questions, we begin by looking for them in existing research, previously in books, nowadays online. If we are lucky, we find the answers. But when there is no answer to be found, because no one has fathomed it yet, and if we are truly curious, we begin to wonder if we might be the ones to uncover it. The fact that no one else has succeeded is scarcely off-putting. This, after all, is the scientist's calling, to imagine or to do what no one has done before. But we cannot spend our lives attempting to open locked doors that no one has a key to. Before beginning, it is crucial to understand whether or not we have the competence, technical skills, and tools that will allow us to accomplish the job. Even then, nobody has any guarantee of success. We have to throw ourselves headlong into the task and aim high. Still, if the target is so high that we have no chance of reaching it, then it's better not to begin. The flocking of starlings held a particular fascination for me because it was connected by a common thread, not only to my research, but to so many other studies in modern physics that attempt to understand the behavior of systems composed of a large number of interacting components or actors. In physics, depending on the context, the actors can be electrons, atoms, spins, or molecules, These actors may have very simple rules of behavior.